Good evening, everybody. This Sunday night. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great weekend. They just fly by. 9 p.m. already, Sunday night. So crazy. But let's get into the market because that's what we need to see. What's going on this week? And crypto held itself up this weekend. I was just watching it, didn't do anything crazy. They're all still kind of coming up to the line, and we will definitely go over that as usual. So let's get into it and see what's happening and what we're looking at for this week. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. I hope everybody had a great weekend, like I said, and let's just start looking at these bad boys and crank through this list. CRKN, someone asked me to look at that one, so I threw it on the list here, and let's take a quick peek at it. It was up 7 cents, and I did take a peek at this on Friday because it was jumping around. It had jumped up there on Thursday. It ran up to 187 CRKN. And then on Friday, it actually opened at 125, got up to that 139, and it closed at 135 with some momentum right there. And it was looking good, CRKN. This is one that we had taken a look at before. And we're watching it, and it kind of just jumped around there, but it looks like it wants to start moving again. So let's keep our eye on CRKN in the morning. It does look pretty decent to try to continue some momentum. And obviously, us 4 a.m.ers, web bowlers, we'll definitely take advantage and look at it if it's trying to move in the morning and start to move. I'm not so sure I'll get on tomorrow morning, but I will definitely be on there. And my account got approved, and I'm getting ready to do that as well. So start trading with you guys at 4 a.m. and we'll start locking in some early morning profits. So that'll be fun. So that's CRKN. Let's just get cruising. CET or VERB, I meant. Verb Technology. This one had reverse split. And then it started to run up, and we were watching it. It got into the basement, and we said, watch for that bounce because we know if they're reverse splitting, they're either just bouncing pretty quick or they pull back hard. Well, this had that pullback look. It's still not crossed through, but it did get out of the basement right there. So let me just take a look at VERB on mine. Yeah, it's still setting up, but it looks like it should try to cross through that line, at least hit it pretty hard tomorrow morning. And we also have to remember tomorrow's Columbus Day. A lot of banks are closed, so it kind of throws things off a little bit. Yeah, it just kind of throws it off. Like I didn't know exactly what I wanted to say, but being Columbus Day, it's always been closed. This is what I was thinking. The market's generally been closed on Columbus days. They now open the market on Columbus Day and close it for Juneteenth. But the banks in a lot of places are still closed on Columbus Day, and it kind of throws things off a little bit. Not saying that there won't be any poppers, so we'll watch it. Something fairly new the last few years, obviously. Columbus Day and Juneteenth, they switched. So we'll just keep an eye on the markets in the morning as well. Just for that reason, because you just don't know exactly how it's going to react with that with Columbus Day and things different and being like a holiday to some people, and then others it's open. So just a crazy one right there. So let's roll through these bad boys. That was VERB. Let's look at CETX. Just wanted to give you a heads up about the Columbus Day. And like I said, some banks are closed, some are open, and it's just all over the place. So CETX, we're watching this one, and we should start to look for that curl up here, CETX. Let's see what it did in the after hours because it was down. It opened up at 57 and it ran up to 73 and got down to 43 where it closed at. So it got back down underneath of where it opened at. And so we're going to keep watching CETX as it crawls up. It's one of these big ones that's doing one of these. It's still pulling back. Didn't even start really doing that big fish hook yet, but it's going to start. And we know that they jump around a lot as they fish hook up, and you can catch that price going up and down. But you also have to remember a lot of times they pull back and drop down lower than the price that they were the day before, even though it runs up. So trade them smart. and we're gonna watch for CETX to actually really start to curl, and we're gonna watch it tomorrow if it wants to actually make that move up and start to curl up right there. So we'll keep our eye on that first thing in the morning, and then SPRC. Let's take a look at that. Spark LTD. That was up 1.5%, down a little bit in the after hours there. Just kind of was running flat there on Friday. Just one of them looks where it was pulling back, but it seems to be trying to set itself back up. SPRC, let me take a better look on the other charts here just to get a look on this one. SPRC. Yeah, it was just flat, but trying to get moving. So has that look like it could reverse and go any which way? So I'll keep an eye on SPRC. It's not telling us anything, and I have a feeling that quite a few of these are going to have that look after Friday. But let's roll through and see exactly how they look. But SPRC, it should be trying to move up, and again, it's going to come down to a lot of the market conditions tomorrow morning. How's the market going to open on a Columbus Day? So that's why I was just kind of giving you as a heads up right there. And we may see that look on a few of these. So just want to give you a quick heads up. But of course, we're going to roll through them and I'll tell you what I see. And obviously, I can look at them tomorrow. The kids are all off school, everyone's off. So I don't even have to move. I can do pre-market pretty long. So we'll be pretty good with that as well. So I can run through some of these and really nail them down and see what's happening and what's moving in the morning. SPRC. Let's look at Buru, BURU. That's that good old Nubaru. And that one started to pop up. Obviously, we know it got up to what, the 148 area, and we were way early on this in the 40s. So this one ran up quite a bit. And to be honest with you, if it starts to make that curl up tomorrow, I think it's going to run up even higher than that 148. So watching it tomorrow to see if it wants to make that curl back up. It looks like it wants to. It looks like the 20 is trying to come up for it. And it does not look bad at all to try to continue to run up. Look like a little bit of healthy pullback there. What day? Thursday it was. And yeah, it looks like it wants to try to continue back up. And like I said, go even higher than that 148. So we will keep an eye on BURU in the morning and just see if it does want to curl back up, because if it does, it's going to cruise up some more and be a good one, though, a good potential one. Like I said, it probably should run higher than it was. PWM, Prestige Wealth, that was up a hair, now up over three, almost 4% in the after hours, up to 75%. This one is setting up. It was still pulling back pretty hard there, but it is setting up for, I guess, 2, 3 weeks down the road, probably a little bit longer. PWM. Yeah, let me take a look. PWM. Yeah, it's just kind of pulling back. It looked like it was trying to move. I don't know if it's really trying to get moving just yet. It is a Hong Kong company, and we'll have to watch for it to try to bounce off of here, but it is setting up, and that line is at 81. It's at 75. So if it can get back up to the 81 or even 82 area, it has a great bounce potential. So that's what you're looking at on PWM. And yeah, you want to get right there for it to bounce up. And will it do it tomorrow? I'm not sure. It would have to basically kind of gap up there in the morning for the most part and get moving. It could do that. It could bounce off of there. Not so sure it will on a Columbus Day, but that doesn't mean anything on a Hong Kong company. So we'll watch for that quick little bounce on PWM, but that's exactly where it has to get back to, that like 81 cent area. Even 82 looks even better. And it can spring off and really get cruising there. And again, it's setting up pretty bullish a couple weeks down the road. So that's one to keep an eye on. LGHL Lion Group, that's one that we had looked at before, ran up a little bit, and then it dipped down the last few days. But it does look like it was trying to curl back up on Friday. I'm not so convinced yet. Let me look at that LGHL and just take a better look on the other charts. It is curling up there, pulling back there, kind of a reverse look. Let me see. I mean, it will have to really. make one of them hard curls up. Not saying it can't. The 20 is right at the 21 cent, a little over 21 cent. Say 21 and a half. It's a little lower than that. And we're at 18 cents, 19 in the after hours. So it definitely could do that. And I don't know what my little guy is doing up there, but he is just like free. He never freaks out like this at night. I have no idea what he's up to. I guess it was a crazy day. Pumpkin picking and all that other stuff. And I guess he had way too much sugar. I don't know. He didn't even have that much, but I hear him up there losing his mind. Feel bad for my wife because he's usually not like this and he's freaking, but she'll definitely handle that for sure. She's a pro, better than me, I would say. So here we go, LGHL, but I don't know what's going on up there. I just hear him SURG, but yeah, LGHL looking very good. And so we'll have to just watch if it's going to bounce. Like I said, it's curling that 20 is right there. I mean, it's in reach, especially at 19 in the after hours. So we're going to watch for it. It could make that hard curl up. Again, market conditions tomorrow is really what this one's going to come down to as well. So we're going to watch this one. I'm going to mark it because it really has that bounce potential right there. It just depends how it opens, and maybe it doesn't even open up like pre-market 4 a.m. Some of them might not be moving in the morning, again, just because of the Columbus Day and banks and a couple other financial institutions may be off. So you just have to keep that in mind as well. So we'll definitely keep that in mind and factor it in as tomorrow morning. But we'll be here for pre-market and we'll see what's happening. And our web bowlers are always on point at 4 a.m. because we go through the list and kind of point out exactly what to look for, and it kind of helps out a little bit. So there you go. SURG, Surge Pays. Let's look at that one because that was starting to surge, and we looked at it and said it was going to surge, and it did off that 20. It looks like it's keeping that momentum for the morning, so I would keep an eye on that one for the morning. It went up another 4 cents in the after hours of 209. And yeah, just kind of curling up there, looking real good. I'll look at it on the after hours chart just to see, but it did jump up and it looked like it kept that momentum really nice. So yeah, it still looks pretty solid right there. So watch SURG in the morning. That one looks really solid. KOLD, that was moving up $2.43. And again, this one's an ETF, the ultra short Bloomberg natural gas. It's hitting that 50 up there at, we'll just say where the top is, 68.11. It just kind of went through it a little bit, but this looks like it wants to continue its way up. And I could see the 20 start to curl up on this and really carry it up there to into the 78s probably. It's at 67 right now, so 67.50. So watch for it to get over. Here, I'll put it right here. Put it over the top. Watch it get over that 68.11 area so it gets back over where Ty was Friday, and watch it pop up a little bit. So that's what we're looking for on KOLD. We just need that little pop up higher. It's at, like I said, 65, 67.50. Get it up over 68 something, and it should continue to move up, and it can get definitely get cruising up into the 78s right there. So KOLD is another one that has good potential right there, and keep an eye on it to get over that number. And let's look at HUT if I could type it in. That's Hut 8 Corp. And I've looked at this one for a long time as well, kind of like APLD and a couple of them other ones like a few years ago. And I'm pretty sure this one has to do with Bitcoin as well. And yeah, I'm just trying to look, but I'm pretty sure it does. I know it's a capital market financial company, and I think that they do invest in crypto and Bitcoin. And I'll tell you what, this thing's looking great. Hut. So watch this bad boy. Let me see what it did in the after hours because it looks nice. Yeah, it looks like it wants to curl up and get through there. It got up, it opened at 1126, got up to 1183, and it's at 1170 right now and looking solid. And I'll tell you what, this thing has some room. Just we'll say it could get over that 15, $16 area with no problem at all. So watch HUT. And again, at the Bitcoin and crypto market, that's about to hit the lines. We'll go through it. If they can cross through, and these guys are right here and cross through, they're definitely going to run. So keep your eye on that HUT because like they say in football, hut, it's about to go. So there you go with HUT. Did anyone watch any of the games today? I hope everybody enjoyed some football this weekend and everything else you guys do. And it was beautiful here on the East Coast. And I know I talked to some people down in Florida, and they are definitely still cleaning up. What a mess that is down there. So hopefully they get some help. My buddy was down there helping out all kinds of older neighbors, and yeah, there he was sending me pictures, and it's a shame, I'll tell you that. The houses, like all the siding and stuff, a lot of the houses are intact, but like you can see their insulation, let's put it that way, and a couple roofs were ripped off. It was no joke. So it's definitely some major damage. And he still doesn't even have electric. He's staying like an hour away at a relative's house, and they're just kind of going every morning and helping neighbors and try to get things back in order. So pretty wild scene down there in Florida, I'll tell you that. So thinking about all them people down there and hope they're doing well because they're definitely not worrying about the football games or probably the stock market as much. I know he's not worrying about crypto as much. He's been asking me what's going on, but he's definitely he's pretty busy down there, I'll say. So thinking about them people as well down in Florida. So hopefully they're doing well and can get back to normal soon. MLGO, let's hop through this list real quick. MLGO is just pulling back 3 cents. China one, we have to watch it. This one seems to be curling up. We're going to go over, obviously, the China ones and see what the yin and the yang are going to do. They're going to start to flip around, so we'll keep an eye on it. Let me just check out MLGO. This is one we've been watching. Started to run back, just kind of looked like a little healthy pullback there on Friday. And again, market conditions, if the yang isn't really getting cruising yet, which it might not exactly tomorrow, but it will be soon. And so MLGO does have that potential to try to curl up and make a little more of a run. And it did get up there on Thursday to that 43 cents. On Friday, it got up to 41. It's sitting at 33. So again, we have to make sure it's going to continue to get that momentum. And the 50 is right here at 44 cents. So it has some more room to move. It never even got to it on Thursday. Like I said, it got to 43, and it pretty much would have had to get up to that 45. So now it could get down to like the 44, low 44s to hit that 50 and kind of bounce back. But let's see if it can get moving more up, moving up again some more tomorrow. ZPTA. We looked at this one, and I forget exactly who was looking at it, but I don't know if they were interested in it anymore. But I'll tell you what, it looks pretty damn good. Friday, it bounced off that bottom right there. I don't know if they had any news. October 12th, halts operations and dismisses workforce on the 12th. What day did this stop? Hold on. Uh, October 11th. What that's pretty normal. I have to see this now because the 12th, it's just saying that they terminated all their employees and they halted operations. That's pretty wild. So I guess they definitely, well, they did. They halted operations and dismissed the majority of its workforce, including the chief CFO, as of October 9th. Wow. That's pretty wild. You don't see that very often, I guess. Not that I know of. I don't know a company that really just does that. The stock chart looked like it was about to pop, so might not want to stick near ZPTA. And I know whoever was looking at it on Stock Twits had said, that one's done, and then you pull up this thing and it looks amazing, but I definitely wouldn't touch it knowing the news. Oh yeah, on my chart it came way down in the air. On FinViz, it gives you that look like it's about to cross through and go wild. And then I pull it up on my chart and it hit that line and just dipped hard and came back down to what, 9 cents? What's FinViz have it at? Oh, they did say 9 cents. I missed that completely. It was up to 26, came down to 9 cents in the after hours. And yeah, that thing is toast. So ZPTA, definitely one you do not want to jump in, especially when they're terminating all the employees and just dismissing operations. That's pretty wild. Let's look at PLCE. I don't think Children's Place is going to do that. So let's look at that because it looked like it was trying to curl back up. Another one we had run up way high. I mean, we had this thing way down there. It ran up to like 1974, and we were watching it as it was bouncing off the line under $5 in the fours. So it ran quite a bit, and then we knew it was coming back down. We basically called the top area right around there, and now it's pulling back, but now it looks like it is setting back up. Let me just see what it did in the after hours because it doesn't look bad. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that Children's Place again, PLCE, and it looks like it wants to curl back up. Now it's in the 13s. Remember, we had seen it way down here in like the fours, under $5. So it did run all the way up, pull back. Now it may need to pop up to the 20 or wait for it. The 20's back up at 15. But again, it ran up and pulled back, and now it's trying to set up. So I'll keep my eye on this bad boy tomorrow. Let's see if it does want to get curled up and moving back into that top area back up here. And it will be a great play again because it can get back up over to 16 and it's at 13. It's not running from the 5 to 18 plus, but it'll get moving for us, PLCE. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And let's look at LUMN. That's at Luminen. They have great flashlights. I was just using it. It's amazing, but it's coming down. And we had seen this way down in like, I don't even remember, but it was in like dollar land and it just kept running up to like over $7. And I actually was kind of impressed it ran that high. I remember. And then it pulled back and ran down in the $5, $6 area, and then pulled back a little into the lower fives and ran up into the sevens. And now it's really setting up to be pretty bullish. Let me just watch it right here because it's pulling back but setting up. So it's not exactly ready yet. Let's see if we can find that bottom and the 50s right here at like 596. Maybe that bottom's right around there. Maybe it's going to pull back a little bit more, but this is one that we want to keep an eye on because again, we caught it in the $1 area and it ran up. It ran, like I said, it ran up to 783, maybe even higher that in the after hours. I remember it was way up there and it was a heck of a run. So let's watch it because once it sets up again, it's going to have one of the major runs again. So we just got to catch it at the right time, and you know we will. It's just a matter of keeping an eye on it. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And there's a few other ones on the other page from last week that I'll incorporate back in this week. They were setting up, and I figured these ones were most of the ones that looked kind of the best as of Friday and had some momentum or trying to curl. So we'll go through these, and we just have a crazy great list. So we have plenty of opportunities. Let's put it that way. WDC, Western Digital Corp. That one's at 64.88, but curling up there, pulling back a little bit. I think it's getting ready to try to set up. WDC, I'll have to look at it. Yeah, I think this one's trying to curl back up and get moving, and it has to like the 68s to get to for its resistance again, but we're just gonna have to wait for it to curl back up, and then it's gonna cross through the MACD and get set up. And then honestly, it probably will get over that 68 area and run this time. So WDC, let's just let it get set up and you can watch it. It'll probably trade in between this 50 down here at 63.75 and the 20s up here in the 66 area. So WDC is one that you can probably trade around if you like it. And again, $64 stock. So has a little couple dollars to move. So you'll get a few percentage out of it and you can trade it as it gets set up. And that is WDC LTRX. I know a couple of yous like this one, and it is starting to curl up now. So keep your eye on this one. It did jump up there on Friday. It opened at 378, got up to 401, but definitely looking good. LTRX. Let me see it on. Yeah, shot up there on Friday. 409 in the after. I was just trying to take a look, but it's hitting that line. It should yeah, it should tomorrow. It should hit the line tomorrow and get cruising right through. And it has that resistance up here in the 418 area. But another one setting up to be super bullish. So it could run up to that 418 and then pull back. We'll have to watch market conditions on this one tomorrow as well as it's curling up. Could just go flat. Wouldn't even really hurt it so much if it just started to move again Tuesday. So keep our eye on LTRX. I know a few of you like that one, and it is setting up, appears to be looking good, and we'll see if it wants to get moving tomorrow. How about that Bloom Energy BE? I told you this one was going to move. It was down here in the tens, in the low tens. Now it's at 1074, and watch this one for this week because BE is going to be a one that's popping right there. So Bloom Energy is about to bloom its energy and be popping. How about that for play on words? So there you go. And it will be moving. It was up 52 cents, a little more Friday, and it is going to keep on moving up there. So that is Bloom Energy BE. So watch that one. We already did SURG, put it on there a couple times, huh? DTSS. I used to trade this one. This one, it must have reversed. Yeah, reverse split back here in January 23rd in the beginning of the year. It's still over $2.34 and not looking bad to pump up there, actually. So, DTSS, I haven't heard this is a China one as well. Haven't heard this name in a while, to be honest with you, but it's looking pretty good right there. Let me see it on mine. DTSS. Yeah, it wants to bounce off, that's for sure. Keep an eye on DTSS tomorrow. That one looks really good. Like I said, I haven't heard that name in a while. That stock ticker, and that is a China company. Data C, it's called. So DTSS OPRA, good old Opera Ltd up 85 cents, and this one is curling up. Should get right through that line the way that thing looks. Should get up to the $16, like 16.50. It's at 15.70 right now, and it ran up the last 2 days. Thursday its low is 14.45. So still have some movement in it, and watch for it to try to cross through. Let me see if it did in the after hours. OPRA. Oh, it's going to hit it nice and it should pop through again. Another one with the market conditions, but it looks good to cross through tomorrow. It has a lot of momentum. So it's looking pretty solid right there. So keep your eye on that one in the morning for a momentum play as well. NDRA, that Ender of Life. Let's see what that is up to. Down a penny, up a little bit, still in the basement, pulling back. I'm surprised because it got over that 20 with so much momentum on Thursday. And then Friday just came back down a little bit. Nothing crazy. Sitting on the 20. I'll tell you what, I could see NDRA popping off with no problem right there. So I would watch NDRA in the morning and this week. If it's not popping tomorrow, it should be by Tuesday. So NDRA, that 20 should come up and hook it up and try to get cruising back up there. Had a lot of momentum there Thursday. Friday just gives you that look. It can go either way, but I'm looking at it like it wants to get out of the basement. Little healthy pullback Friday, maybe even a little, didn't really dip that hard, but October 9th on 18 cent looked like it's bottom. So yeah, it looks like it wants to move NDRA. So watch that one as well. LGMK is that logic mark. That was down 2%, up 3% in the after hours. Came back down, crossed down. I remember we were watching it last week. It ran up on the seventh there to the 18 cent area, almost 18 and a half, and got through to 20 and then just came back down real hard. And now it's kind of riding that line as it crossed down. Let me take a better look at it on mine, LGMK. That's our logic mark. And yeah, it looks like it's just pulling back there. Doesn't appear that it's ready to reverse just yet. So we'll have to keep an eye unless it's going to make one of them hard curl ups, and I'm not so sure it's going to do that tonight. So, or tonight. Yeah, it's definitely not doing it tonight. I mean, tomorrow with, the market conditions and everything going on, anything's possible, so we'll watch it, but that's where it's at. It's in the spot where it could definitely make the hard curl or yeah, hard curl bounce off. But again, with the market conditions, I just don't see it. But it doesn't mean it can't happen. And we've seen them pop like the 4th of July week when it's kind of slow. So I'm not saying that it can't happen tomorrow. I'm just saying keep your eye out. And if it seems a little off, we know why, because it's Columbus Day and there are institutions and banks closed, and the market was always closed for a long time, and now it runs on Columbus Day. So it's just a little strange. So that's all I'm saying with that. And again, just I'm just giving you guys the heads up, and anyone joining, just letting you know what I'm looking at and factoring that in as I'm looking at these as well, because we always factor in the market conditions. We have to. I mean, that's how you can read these bad boys. AUUD, we were watching last week, and that hard line and 20 are coming down. Had all them weird looks, and Friday it took that bounce. I think Friday might have been its bottom there. Yeah, I thought, honestly, I thought October 2nd when it came down to that 55 cents wanted to be the bottom, and then Friday it came down to 53 and a half. So that very well could be the bottom. Still crossed up and touching that bottom. And your 20 and hardline are right there at 68 cents. And this is at 57. So it's not far off at all. And could get moving. AUUD. And I'm going to look at this bad boy in the morning as well because it's right in that spot where it could take that nice bounce. So we'll take a look at it and see. I'm just writing bounce right there. So yeah, AUD, just take a look at that in the morning and see if it wants to bounce off that bottom. And not a guarantee, but it's in the spot where it definitely could. EDBL, again, none of these are guaranteed, especially tomorrow because of the market conditions, and that's why I'm trying to factor them in and give you the best look and tell you what it looks like it's going to do and how it closed. But we have to keep in mind the market conditions in the morning, and of course, we're going to be doing the pre-market show, so we will know, and the web bowlers always know. I mean, you know, if they're catching momentum at 4 a.m., it's pretty evident as they're starting to cruise. So they know which ones are moving, and if you keep that list marked up and know which ones I'm saying to keep an eye on, you know when that one's jumping up, you're like, well, I heard that and it's moving, so we know it's going to be moving. Let's look at our lines and see where it's going to hit to, and that's how you kind of keep an eye on these bad boys because some of them jump up out of nowhere, but they are set up, and then others kind of just jump when you know they're going to. And again, the Columbus Day, you got to kind of factor it in. So EDBL is getting out, it's not getting out of the basement. It's trying to curl up and hit that line. I feel like it's finally ready to start moving again. The 20 is coming down. It's at 48, and this is at 21. But it does look good to hit the line and try to get moving. It looks like it's trying to keep momentum there. Let's keep an eye on it tomorrow. If it's trying to really pop, it is. It's getting through and running with momentum. I don't know if it's getting out of the basement. It's kind of far down there, but it could. And it's just one of them hooks. And you know what it is? It never really got popping yet as it's approaching that line. And we know it's right around there as it's hitting it. So tomorrow could be that pop off day for EDBL. And then we kind of know it's going to hit a fake wall and pull back as it goes over the MACD and tries to get to the 20. So, but watch EDBL in the morning for that pop up because it's right there and we know that look. And we were looking at it last week saying it was might have been Friday, Thursday, Friday. Again, we know when they're about a day or so off. Keep an eye on them bad boys because that's when they generally like to pop off anymore. TRNR, interactive strength. And that is up 4%, 4.5. And oh, this one looks really good. Um, yeah, I mean, crawling up out of the basement right there. I have to see this on my chart to get a better look in the after hours. Hold on. Can't even type it in. TRNR. Here we go. So yeah, it does look like it's trying to curl back up there. I thought it was. It's hitting that bottom basement floor area, trying to get out, and it looks like it wants momentum. Had a weird look, and three kind of red days were trying to move. It has an odd look, I'll tell you that. I would keep an eye on TRNR. What it have in volume? Four over 4 million? Because it has that weird look like something could be popping there. So I would be keeping an eye on it. I'll watch that in the morning for sure. And that is TRNR. And I'm going to put an asterisk next to that because it does look pretty good. It's curled up and it looks like it wants to get out of the basement. If it gets out of the basement, it can pop up there. And your 20's coming down for it at 19 and a half, and we're at 14. Did pull back a little in the after hours, but nothing crazy. So not worrying about that. NAOV. Nano Vibro Nix, something like that. So here we are. That's almost up a percent. Has a weird look right there as that one's curling up. Another one has that weird look on a Friday. Didn't know what it wanted to do, how to end, and how to set up. The 20's coming down for it, and it's at 61 cents. And this one was at 58. Went down 2 cents to like 56.5671, not even 2 cents, but it did dip down there to 55 on Friday, and that one's getting close to the line. Let me take a look and see how close we are. I'll have a better idea when I look at mine, but it's right there on here. And let me take a look. Let me type it in. Yeah, tomorrow, and it looks like it should try to jump through again. Has that look like it didn't know what it wanted to do at the end? So it appears to me it wants to try to cruise tomorrow. Another one, keep your eye on it in the morning. If it can keep that momentum up and actually cross through or even hit the line because it's right there, we know they pop right there. They don't necessarily have to cross through to pop. When they cross through, they hit a wall and then have to reset up. So we kind of like it here, and it's only for a fast run. So that's what you're looking for with NAOV, and it is right there for you. So keep an eye on that one. QNRX. Let's see that one. Coin Pharmaceuticals, something like that. Up, cross through, trying to move, just kind of pull back a little bit. And this 20 came down for it. This one had run up pretty high. I do remember this one. It opened, well, it ran up to what, 108 there on, I meant to look at the day, on September 10th. So it was a little while back. I couldn't tell how far. It looked like it was sooner than that, but it was September 10th. It ran way up and then it pulled back, and now it appears to be curling back up. So since September 10th, you kind of had some pullback and a little trade action, but nothing crazy. And it's pulled back, and now we're starting to roll back up. Should get back over that 20, which is at like 52 and a half. And it did in the after hours, it looks like. So I would say that QNRX is looking decent. Yeah, cross through it does look pretty nice right there. And it could be slowly but steady, but that's fine. The 50's around 57 cents. So has some movement, can get over that and really run back up again. So QNRX not looking bad at all. HOVR over New Horizon Aircraft. I remember looking at this. Let's see. This one's another one, that big fish hook, and it's laying right there on that bottom line and has that where I would be looking at this one in the morning. HOVR, an aerospace and defense for Canada, and I would be watching that thing. Let me look at it on my chart. HOVR. It's about to hover right through that line and get cruising. I mean, it looks really good. Your has that hard line behind it, and your 20's coming down at 40 something cents. What was it? 46, and we're at 31, and it looks pretty nice to me. Let me just make sure it's the right date. It's October 11th. It is. Yeah, that one looks nice, and might have to look at the aerospace and defense again tonight as well. SMSI, that's that Smith Micro software. That one had run up last week, and I think we're getting some pullback here. We'll watch it. It got caught up on the 20 right there, and the 50's below it at 91. So we'll see if it wants to roll off this MACD as it comes down. More market conditions for this one tomorrow, so I'll keep an eye on that SMSI and see if it does. If it can roll off, it'll get back up over its high, so it would run more. So I will keep an eye on it. HAO, that one we were talking about last week, it was up 6%, but it's way down there. This is another China company crossed through. Looks like it's trying to bounce up here, HAO, HAO. So let's keep an eye on that in the morning. You could have some curl up right there on HAO. It's not looking bad at all. And if it can curl up and actually get out of the basement, the 20's coming down at 76. That's way up there, but again, it could curl up and get cruising. Market conditions, more or less yin and the yang, and how these China ones are setting up. You know that they can just run out of nowhere, and it has that look like this one could. So maybe the yin's gonna pop up a little bit more tomorrow. I'll take a look at them and see. We'll look at them in a few minutes. But there's HAO, and we'll keep an eye on it because it is down there and wants to try to do something there. SCLX. That one is hitting the bottom. That one looks like it's going to roll off that MACD and try to curl up. Let me look at that one on mine. SCLX. Yeah, it does. I would keep an eye on SCLX to get cruising here because it looks like it wants to roll off that MACD right there. 20 is coming down at 90 cents. This is at 79 and a half. And it does look pretty good to roll off. I'd watch this in the morning as well. SCLX. I think it looks pretty good to try to roll off. If it does, it's going to cruise. So you know what you're looking for. And again, that 20's at 90 cents. This is at 79 and a half cents. Could easily get back up there with a roll off and good and get cruising again. So I'd keep an eye on this one as well. SCLX. Let's look at that RIME. I know we looked at it last week real quick. It was up 2 cents. Had run up the other day on that October 7th. And whoa, it had 159 million that day. And Friday, it ran what, 49 cents it opened, or got up to that 55, and it is looking solid too to try to crawl back up. If it gets over that 20, which it already did, but it's at 54 cents, it pulled back to 52 in the after hours. Let me take a look at it on mine, but this one looks solid. RIME. Yeah, this one looks like it wants to start running again. So another one to keep an eye on for this week and tomorrow. RIME looking really good to me. So there you go, rhyme. That did rhyme. So CERO, let's take a look at that and see what CERO wants to do because we looked at that last week and it started to move. So let's see if it wants to continue to. And a little bit of pullback there. Like I said, it rolled up on Thursday. It ran up a little bit to 12 cents, almost 12 and a half, and it opened at 10. Right now, we're looking at it at the 9, under 10 cents. And it does. It looks like it wants to roll up to me. And this one looks like, on my chart, a little bit of healthy pullback, nothing crazy. But yeah, I think it's getting trying to get set up. I'll look at it on stock charts as well, real quick. And yeah, it does look like it's trying to set back up the run. So I would be keeping an eye on CERO. This one could get cruising right there as well. So keep an eye on that and see what it wants to do. We've been watching it, so you know we're going to keep an eye on it because it looks like it's set up finally and wants to roll. We did Boo There you go. We went over that one. LUNC supporter. I hope you checked that. Was here for that one. Let me see. BURU. What I say? This one is. Oh yeah, this one. Watch for it to try to crawl back up, and it could get running up higher than its high was, and that was at that 148. So keep an eye on that right there in the morning to try to roll up higher. DG. Let's see that. Oh, good old Dollar General. That was way down there. And it's down at 82.49. They're giving out some dividends, or they just did on October 8th. So let's see. How's that look like? It doesn't know what it wants to do, and it's flat. DG, let me see. It'll mine. I would say it's going to try to get cruising again, is what it looks like at the moment anyway. So let me look at DG for you in the morning. Stonky Stonks 85.20. Yeah, it's just has that weird look like it didn't know how it wanted to close and it just ran flat. From what it looks like it wants to roll up. and try to move. So that's what it looks like to me on my chart as well. But I will definitely take a look at DG. I'll actually jot that one down real quick and take a look at that one for you in the morning. We can get a better look, but it does look like it wants to roll off there. SMCI, super micro computer, that one we know is going to be going up higher. Luis Rodriguez, right? Yep, that's who asked me that. And it's going to get over that 49 and get cruising. And it's bullish up to 70, guys. So be looking at the options on SMCI because it should get moving. And of course, micro strategy, that's been running up and getting into the top there. Michael Sayer, not Slayer, Sayer. Um, they what is it today? They had some I think they MicroStrategy sets sites on a 1 trillion valuation as Bitcoin Bank. So they're trying to have like $1 million or $1 trillion, a million. Yeah. He does that in one day. He's trying to have $1 trillion in Bitcoin, which is pretty wild. So you know that's going to be worth a lot when this bad boy runs up. And he's no dummy. He knows this thing's going to get crazy. It's running up the MSTR. It probably will run up a little higher. It got up into the top, Luis Rodriguez, and it does look like it wants to run up a little higher tomorrow. So keep an eye on it for that momentum. More or less market conditions again, but it's set to run up higher. Let me look at MSTR on my charts real quick. Yeah, it looks like it wants to keep cruising up there, but it's in the top, so play it safe and smart. It just has that momentum up there. How are you, Joseph Levy? How are you this evening? And let's keep on cruising through and see what else we have here. Grab a drink of water and we will fly through some. How's that? Let's get moving here. And I hope everyone had a good weekend. Laptop travel, little Iron Man, John Wong, Licho something, Elena. The Pink Wolf is hanging out. Stonky Stonks 8520, Scoper 8, Rebecca and Luis Rodriguez. How is everybody tonight? I hope everyone had a great weekend. And let's roll through the rest of this list because we already have a heck of a lot of them setting up and we kind of know how things are setting up. They do look good and bullish. So let's roll through. CDT was moving this past week, and let's see if it wants to continue because Friday it got up to that 12 cent little or up to that 15 cent. I mean, it opened at 12 cent, got up over 15, almost 16. And let's see if it can keep its momentum. Let me see what it did. I know it pulled back there, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the world for it. So let me just take a look on mine, which isn't really telling me a whole lot. It's kind of just flat right there, trying to curl back up CDT. I think it still has momentum. The only problem is it ran up so much on Friday. And again, another one. Market conditions are good and strong. CDT could easily bounce back up and run between this channel of 11 and 13, 14 cents. So we'll watch CDT. That's at Conduit Pharmaceuticals. We were watching that for a little while and then caught the bounce on that because we started checking out all the ones that we were looking at from 3 weeks ago and a month ago and bam. So how about AUST? We ran that one way up there. Mentioned this the other day, and Friday it ran up over $2, 201, and then it pulled back to 150 up to 165 in the after hours. Let me just take a look on mine just to get a better look. Ooh. Um, Way in the top flat there. And yeah, I think we might have had a top on AUST at that $2. I think we're gonna have to see a little bit of pullback. It's not really crossing down anything crazy yet, but I have a feeling you're gonna have to see a little pullback on Austin Gold Corp. And that is, but not saying that it can't set back up. So I'll keep an eye on that AUST. And we nailed that one. And that was one I had traded a bunch of times before. And I saw the setup happening and bam, it ran way up for us. How about JTAI? That ran up on Friday. We just started looking at it Thursday and Friday. And another one had on the list on Wednesday or Thursday when right before it popped. Started looking at that list of ones that we were looking at 3, 4 weeks ago. And this was on there and then popped the very next day. Is it going to keep that momentum? And it's again over the weekend, it's a tough one to be able to tell because you just don't know how the market's going to open, and then you have a Columbus Day. But as far as it looks, JTAI, it looks like it wants to run up some more. And this one is a USA software application company, but again, it does look strong as the 20's coming around for it. So could easily go back up JTAI. So you can keep an eye on that. How about UCAR, UCAR? It was setting up the other day. It's just right between that channel of 646 and 712-ish. And it opened at 639, got down to 639, went to 673. So it's just in that channel. And I think it's pretty much had its pullback right there down to the bottom. Had a flat look, but this thing is setting up UCAR. It wants to get set up for like a week or two away. And it is also a China auto and truck dealership. And there was one of them, a recent one of them that went flying. I'm trying to think of it, but I can't think of offhand which one it was. But one of them went cruising recently. And this one's trying to set up to do the same thing. So just wait for it. It's way down there. Just wait for it to start curling back up, and it's going to be pretty solid. So that's UCAR. That'll start driving back up. And Easy Go, this one was setting up in a good spot, just kind of pulled back, did the same thing. Pulled down pretty hard down there, and is setting up for like 2, 3 weeks down the road there for a China recreational vehicle. So keep your eye on EZGO because that's another one that's setting up for a couple weeks down, 2 weeks or so. So we'll have to keep an eye on the China ones and then recreational and the auto industry and see what's happening with them bad boys around that time. Holo, let's take a look at that. HOLO, another China company. It did do the split and ran up, and then it started pulling back a little bit. Let's see. It's sitting on the 20. Let me take a better look on mine. HOLO, just coming right down on that MACD right there. Doesn't look real hard. 20's right there. I have a feeling this one could roll off with no problem and try to get moving again. And that's that Holo, HOLO, and that is a China stock as well. So we have to get into the yin and the yang real soon. I think they're coming up right now. Look at that. Just put myself right on them. The yin, YINN. This one was curling down, going through the MACD, and just had a flat look. The 20 sitting there at 36. This is at 40, 41. Started to bounce back up on Friday. So that's what the the yin looked like. And now let's look at what the yang looked like because now I'm looking at the yin on mine and it looks like it wants to come down hard. That's what it looks like to me. Let's look at the yang. Now the yang was down a little bit, tried to move around and sitting right on that line at the basement floor, right where they love to pop. I mean, they like to pop hard off of that spot too. And the 20's way up at 493, and this thing's at 319. And this thing is about to hit that line tomorrow and probably hit it pretty hard and hard enough that it should go right through it. And that's the yang. I'll honestly be kind of surprised if it hits it and bounces down tomorrow. Not saying it's impossible. It could hit it, bounce down, and set back up one more time. I can see that happening. I'm not saying it's impossible, but just the way it looks, it should get through. So I'm just telling you, I won't be surprised if it doesn't, but it should get through, is what I'm telling you. And again, this is just it's a hard look right now. Maybe tomorrow at 7 a.m. if you can tell me a little bit closer. It's not even going to be uh crossing through at that time, but maybe I can get a better idea if it does want to get moving and really switch around. So I obviously will take a look at the yin and the yang in the morning and see what they want to do. But as far as I'm looking, the yang wants to get moving, the yin wants to come down, and that's how it looks like to me. Whether it's going to happen tomorrow, not exactly sure, but it should happen in the next week or so, is what it looks like. So that's what I see right there. And obviously, we're going to be looking at them tomorrow. I think Laptop Travel thought the same thing that the Yang is going to come down pretty soon. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on it. And as I say that, I think he was China's stimulus plan still continues to yeah, disappoint investors. And here's a article as well, reposted. I swear I cannot like touch the buttons anymore. Like the repost and the heart thing, I hit like everything else besides them things. I have no idea why, but I do. So there you go. But yeah, I know that Laptop Travel was looking at the same thing I'm looking at, and he follows it over there pretty closely, and he knows he travels over there. He's over there, and he said that the stimulus was definitely disappointing. People weren't happy. And I'm telling you, that yen looks like it wants to crash, and that yang looks like it wants to fly. And I already told you, I got options in my yang. So let's see what happens. That's how I do it. And boom. And now I'm gonna start really rocking and rolling on the nail and everything. So I'm telling you, it's about to get good. And we're about to start cruising and rocking and rolling and just probably become one of the best trading shows. That's the goal here. We already know, like I explain to people all the time, and not even here. I talk to people obviously all over the place about the markets and business and this and that. I've been doing it for over 20 years, building businesses, selling them off, looking at stock charts and doing calling things. So I have like I say, my track record kind of speaks for itself. And like I tell people, honesty, trustworthy, hardworking, and be reliable, and you nail them four things in anything in life, and you'll be successful at it. And obviously, they're not the easiest four things, but they don't cost you anything. It becomes more mindset than anything. So you have that idea and that mindset, and just go with it. You'll succeed. You'll do exactly what you plan to do. I'm telling you, every single time. It may not happen overnight. It never does. Nothing does, and that's why people that have that long haul. And look at the long plan, see things farther out, generally succeed more often than the people that see things shorter. And that's why I always tell you, look at 3 to 4 months out. I tell you that all the time. If you shorten your what you're looking at, it kind of blinds you, and you get caught up in things. At least for me, I know things have changed obviously in the last year for the way I look at things with a brain injury, but obviously I stick to what I've always known and how I do things. But what I was saying is the one thing that's really changing is obviously trading pinpoint smart. And that's what we're going to get into and really just learn how to become the best traders that we can become. And obviously, if you can take our chart skills, our charting skills, what we do on the show, and apply that to trading smart, and if you can just trade one or two of these smart, here and there, the profits are just crazy. Especially again, I explained options, and we'll try to get more into that this week and get just more explanation of how they work and how people can do them, because I know it's very confusing and very intimidating. Trust me, I've been doing this a long time and I never got into them, and I know I should have probably 10 years ago. So, but I'm glad it's never too late, and I'm glad I actually started to do it, and I understand it somewhat. And of course, it's a learning process, and we're always getting better at everything. And like I tell you, is I give you the honesty of everything and all my experiences. So we're going to incorporate how to learn how to like really incorporate trading smart. Nailing these bad boys down. You can see, I mean, the last 2 weeks we've been hitting 100%ers nonstop. And you got to trade them smart. As I always say, you can pick all the 100%ers, but if you don't trade them smart, they're useless. So let's start trading everything smart, whether it's options, big caps, small caps, and just make it a trading exercise. And boom, we just get that mindset. And once you do that for like 1 to 3 months, and you really just get into that routine and rhythm, and it's happened before, and then I kind of got out of it. And again, I suffered a brain injury, so kind of getting back into things again, and kind of retraining my brain again. So once we get into that routine and rhythm, like I said, you just do like 1 to 3. Um, maybe four or five tops, and you just start rolling them over. And I've done it multiple times, and it just gets wild when you see your account growing really fast that big, and you're not really trading with much money either. So it's not like you're putting that much risk. And everybody trades, like I say, everybody has a different idea of what small and big amounts are. So that's why I tend not to talk about the money aspect. And I just tell you, if you can trade smart with $10, you can do it with 100, you can do it with 1,000, and you can do it with 10,000. But do it with $10 first. I promise you, the more money you throw at it doesn't make you a smarter trader. It makes you lose more money, is all it does. So when you can do it with 10, you can do it with 10,000. And but you want to go small, 10 to 100. Get that down. 100, you got that down, bump it up a little bit. Now you're doing $400 or $500 trade, and you just keep rolling them. And as you get that confidence and comfortable with it, it just all comes together and just starts exploding. And you watch your account just blow up, like, not in a bad way. I mean, just explode. And and you start seeing like $10,000 days. It gets wild. And we've seen plenty of them, and even way bigger days than that. Look at the TNON the other day. I mean, you had people making small salaries and yearly salaries at 4 a.m. So it happens often, and you don't have to be throwing that much money in. It's more or less trading smart, and you're not going to hit grand slams every time. And this is the mindset. People get into that mindset because you find these 100 percenters and you want to smash them out of the park. The mindset you have to set into is hit the small ones, hit the easy ones, take your profits when they're there, and the grand slams and home runs start lining up. And I'll give you an example. Look at the Mets and the Phillies. I mean, I'm a Phillies fan. I'm from the area, and they their bats are just the worst when it becomes October. Like, they just can't hit the ball. And the Mets get hot in the end of the year, and that's all you got to do. You just start rolling into it. And I mean, they were smashing the ball out the park. So they won the one game with like eight singles. So look what they did. And then the very next game, they come back and they start hitting home runs, hit a grand slam. And that's why you do it. You build that confidence up, and you get the guys on base, and then the grand slams come. So that's how the market works. So just a little insight. And but yeah, we're really going to start trading them smart. And again, I tell you, I try to be honest, and I'm not a financial guy. So this is definitely, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. I tell you my experience and what I do. And yeah, I'm not saying that I'm the greatest at it, but we're going to become the greatest. I can promise you that. And again, I learned from my mistakes. I always have, and I feel like you're always going to make mistakes. It's about owning up to them, being honest with yourself and everybody else around you, and really zeroing in on what went wrong and fixing the problem and making the solutions. And that's kind of what we're doing here. And again, that sell button's hard to hit. I know it. It's a psychological thing, and that's why I explain these things to you guys. And we're gonna just get through it all and just become master traders, really. And like I say, you apply, if you can recharge halfway good and trade really well. You won't have to get up to go to a job. I promise you. You'll never get. You guys will be like, yeah, we ain't working. I don't think laptop travel. He travels like the world. I know he does. Obviously his traveling thing, but he trades all the time. I mean, he's trading. And that's, it's a lucrative thing that you can do, and you can do it on a schedule where you can also have a life and financial freedom as well, and not be clocking in and out of the job and be, basically feel like you're pressured to be there, and you can go and live your life and enjoy it. And that's what it's about. Um, and financial freedom, to everybody's a different idea, but financial freedom to me is being able to pretty much come and go as I please, do what I want, and be able to be there for my family and my kids when I need to be, whenever, and live a very happy life, not have bills really, and that's all. You don't need that much. I'm not a materialistic person. I've said it before, and I just don't care about any of that stuff. So none of that really impresses me. Just bigger bank accounts are cool, and just knowing that, you can pass off something to your family and the knowledge too, just being able to, give them this gift of knowledge. I mean, where do you learn this at? That's what I always say to people. Go show me what college is going to teach you this kind of knowledge and be able to make money like this pretty much at the blink of an eye, like almost the snap of a finger when you want to. And it's kind of how we do it. Nobody teaches this stuff. I mean, nobody, nobody. And yeah, we just like I said, I got hit in the head and I said, you know what, I'm put here for a reason. And I know I'm blessed with a gift. I say it, very blessed. I live a blessed life. And now it's time to show you guys how to read the charts, but more importantly, let's trade smart. So let's roll through the list. Enough yapping, but just was thinking about that all today and was like, you know what? We are going to start crushing this thing. And all we have to do is just apply it and be smart. So that's all you have to do. And I've done it plenty of times. I can promise you that. And we are going to do it on a whole nother level this time. I always said I was going to do it bigger and better the next time I did it. And this is the time. So you guys are going to definitely have fun. I promise you. And I know my buddy Timmy he's not on, but he can tell you what we've done in the past, and it gets wild real fast. And I'm telling you, the charts are setting up to do it. We kind of knew the summer was all wacky, and it's playing out exactly how I see it. And I told you how I see the prediction. So let's roll through these bad boys. SYRS was pulling back. I don't know what's going on here. Now it's kind of pulling back a hair. This thing was more set up than anything I ever saw. I think it might have just been some healthy pullback there on Friday, but we are definitely looking at this in the morning just to see what it wants to do. And that's at SYRS. And it was super set up. And I'm not saying it's not, it's just under the 20. Could easily jump back up on there. And it's at 190, yeah, I probably did in the after hours, to be honest with you. Let me see. SYRS. Yeah, not looking bad, just a little healthy pullback. So not much to be that concerned about. RMCF, let's see, that guy, Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. And this dude just ran up last week like an animal. We were saying that it had good chocolate. It ran up even more on Friday, and I was surprised. I know I said I was surprised it ran up even more Thursday and Friday. And it's coming out of out of the top. I knew it would be. The 20s right here at say 199, it could stick right there and then try to bounce back up. And again, we saw this bad boy pretty, I don't remember exactly what the price was, but it was down there and it got that run. It was slow and steady and it didn't even have much volume. 24,000 on Friday and still was moving. So that was at RMCF. And we can probably stop looking at it, to be honest with you, because it did exactly what we thought it was going to do. And it ran up there and now it's coming down. VCIG, that one is curling up. Just a little healthy pullback there Friday. It looked great on Thursday. I mean, it was perfect. And Friday it just pulled back a little bit. Nothing real crazy there. I have a feeling this is going to try to roll off tomorrow. Keep an eye on that VCIG in the morning because that one looks like it wants to try to roll off there and try to get set up to move pretty soon. ALBT is at Avalon Globo Care. And I'm telling you, this thing is just setting up. I would watch this week because it looks like a monster in the making for like the next month. So, not sure what this real estate company is doing, but they are clearly doing something. And it's pretty good because I'm telling you, it's a monster in the making for the next month. And ALBT, so keep your eye on it because it's at the bottom and it's about to start cruising up there. So, you want to be watching that one for the next a little while, honestly, because it's probably going to stay on our list for a little while. I can see that. SBFM, that was looking real good the other day, but it came down. A lot of them did pull back on Friday, and this one just sitting right there at the like line, just kind of jumped around. Let me see on mine what it did in the after hours, try to get a better idea for us. And this one looks like it's going to roll off there. All it has to do is get back over to 307. It's at 297 right now. Got up to 301 in the after hours. But SBFM, and that's that Sunshine Biopharma, not looking bad to try to move this week. Possibly even tomorrow. Again, market conditions on it, but easily could go Tuesday, if not tomorrow. So Keep an eye on that SBFM. It is set up right there. SOPA, SOPA, Society Pass, up a penny. And let's see, it's looking pretty good right there. It is curling up really nice. I know we were looking at it last week and it was trying to set up, and I think this one's really set up, Sopa. Let me take a look at it on mine because it looks better than I think. Maybe not. Well, it's trying to. It looks great on Finviz, I'm saying that. And I have a feeling it crosses through tomorrow. Mayan just gave it that flat look in the after hours, but it does look like it wants to get through. And the 20 is right there to try to pull it up. It's at 97, and this is at like 95. So I think so. Society Pass SOPA looks good to try to run. It is bearish long term, but could get up to that 111 and bounce off of there real quick. And then it could change its whole entire chart if it did it. So let's keep an eye on SOPA and look at it in the morning. And that's SOPA. Peggy, PEGY. She was looking good last week and was starting to move. And let's see if it wants to continue to move. I think so. That 20 is coming down. It's at 13. It's at 11 right now. So let's look at PEGY. Yeah, it looks like it wants to continue going. It moved up on Thursday, got over to 20, and it got to like 14 cents. And then Friday, its high was a little over 12 and a half. And it looks like it wants to get out of the basement and get some pineapple energy right there. So keep your eye on Peggy because she's not looking bad as well. SGN, signing day sports, up 2%. And I'm telling you, this thing looks pretty damn good to run again. It ran up pretty high on September 19th, got up to 76 and a half, and it looks like it wants to try to run again. So keep your eye on it in the morning and see if it can get crossed through. It might even have some momentum tomorrow. If not, we'll watch it and see if it's bouncing off or if it's trying to curl through. If it's trying to curl through, it will run back up until like the 39, and it's at 23 and a half in the after hours. Let me see. 24, yeah, right around there. So we will watch it tomorrow, SGN, and see what it wants to do. And that could be a possible play right there. Again, the letter S, Centennial One. This one was pretty bullish. It had run up there a few days. It got up there and just kind of has that look like it doesn't know what it wants to do. If it's going to pull back, it's coming down to like the 24 and 50 area. And it's at 2608 in the after hours. So this one's setting up super bullish. We were looking at it the other day and it jumped up some more after we were looking at it. And it is set up to keep going. BCG is that financial company. This one was way down there, right? Yeah, in the 20s right here, kind of curled down 291. This is at 270. And let's see if this is going to roll off BCG because I remember looking at this looking pretty good last week. And yeah, this one looks like it wants to try to roll off. It was just that little pullback, and the 20 looked like it was kind of curling down on it at 291. But that could change real quick. So I have to look at BCG in the morning just to see how it's going to open up, and I'll get a good idea. But it's going to set up pretty soon to run. I think it's going to roll off fairly soon, and that one has a lot of room and it's has a lot of space to get moving. How about Maxon did the old splitter Rooney on the 9th, 1 for 100, and it looked like Friday might have been that look where it wants to try to finally bottom out and bounce. Its 20s up here all the way at 804, and this is at 526. It did go down 9 cents in the after hours. Let me see what Maxon did on mine coming down to that line, but not crossing down yet, so it could easily roll off and cruise. So watch for Maxon to be that bounce tomorrow, or at least try to get set up right there. I'm going to put an asterisk next to it because it could definitely get set up. LIDR. Let's see, that one's pulling back now. It was running up. If anything, it's going to pull back here to 120s. It's at 125. So it's kind of making a base, and it should get cruising up there and try to move up to the 160 area, I think. So that's what LIDR looks like. And it does. It looks like it wants to set up and run up a little bit higher. APDN, this one was trying to set up. It was down a little bit the other day. It's been pulling back. And I think Friday, keep your eye on this thing in the morning. I think APDN's going to have a good week this week right now because it looks pretty sweet and it's starting to curl up there. So I think APDN might have had its bottom on Friday at 28 and a half. So keep your eye on that. It's back to 31 and it looks good. Let's see if Bolt wants to start bolting up. BOLT, it was moving up a little bit, a little more in the after hours, and keep your eye on this as it's starting to roll up. I think Bolt's going to have a good bolt and try to jump up there. So I would be keeping an eye on that one in the morning to roll up. BOLT. We did AUUD already. EJH, let's see that guy and see what it wants to do. It's at 94 cents, and let's just see. It looks pretty good there. I know this is a China one. And like I said, these China ones are crazy because the yin and the yang are all wild, and these things look like they want to run. So you don't know what the heck's going on. But the EJH is looking really good finally. So I think that could have had its bottom down here at what is it? 88 cents. It's at 94 in the after hours. It was at 97. It got to 99. And I think EJH is going to try to get out of the basement finally after that split on September 24th, and it ran up that day, but never really got cruising. But it looks like it's trying to now, so we'll keep an eye on EJH. Could be one in the morning running. WTO, let's look at that. That one was looking, remember that one was looking way better than EJH before, and then it popped up and EJH was dipping down. Well, WTO, I think, had its bottom the other day as well on the ninth, down at 36 cents. We're at 39. And I think this one could be trying to either make a base or move. Let me look. WTO. And let me see. Kind of tough look right there. This is another China one, and it could be the 20s we're at down there, 46, we're at 38. This one could be trying to move up again as well. WTO, I'd have to look at that one in the morning. ABVE, I know we looked at this for a long time and it just kept kind of pulling back there, and it is trying to get set up finally. It's running flat right there. Let me just take a look. But ABVE could finally have its week this week, so watch this thing to start curling up as well. And that's ABVE. And that one we watched for a while, and then we kind of figured out that was kind of the one that tipped me off, to be honest with you. That was one of the first ones that I started to get that look on, and I can look at it now. It ran up a little bit on October 3rd to 63 cents, but still was nothing. And then October 8th, it ran up to 62 and still was nothing. But now it's finally looking pretty good to try to run. So we will keep an eye on ABVE. And there you go with that guy, AIEV. And this one was running up on Thursday. It pulled back a little bit on Friday. Down 4 cents to 48, but it ran up on Thursday to 52 and a half. And it looked like just some healthy pullback there with AIEV. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, just a little healthy pullback. I could see this thing trying to run up a little bit higher and trying to get up to that 50, which is at 55 cents. So we shall keep an eye on AIEV and LGVN. That was looking really good, setting up bullish, and I think we're gonna have to keep an eye on this one too. I think you're gonna have a run with this one. LGVN, it was looking really good last week, and I think it looks even better now. Let me see. LGVN, let me look at it in the after hours. Yeah, just a little healthy pullback right there. I'll look at this in the morning as well. Your 20's coming down at 192. It's at 182 in the after hours. If it starts to curl up, I think they're going to start to meet up or it's going to gap up there, LGVN. So let me keep an eye on that bad boy as well. TNFA. TNF Pharmaceuticals up 13 cents. We were looking at it the other day. It got moving Thursday or Friday, I mean, and I think that's going to continue that momentum. So you can keep your eye on TNFA in the morning to try to move as well. FRGT, that Freight Technologies was down 2 cents after it ran up. Well, it did run up because it ran up Thursday and its high was 199. And then Friday it got up to 217 and hit that 20. So it hit the resistance and flattened out. It could pop up a little higher, to be honest with you. Let me see how it closed
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Just some healthy pullback, nothing wild. So FRGT could continue to move up as well. LCTX, that's at Lineage Cell Therapeutics up a penny. And oh, this one, I have to say this one's gonna bounce. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. LCTX. I would watch for this thing to make a bounce right there. LCTX has that bounce look, so keep an eye on that bad boy in the morning because it has that look. BMRA is at Biomerica up a penny, and this thing's going to get cruising this week. I told you I liked it like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and you know I'm always early, so we have to kind of stall them up a little bit and keep an eye on them because I like them early. I don't like to get in them early. I just happen to find them all early. Just the charts set up, like I tell you, they set up way too early sometimes, and it's you just know it's going to happen, and then you just got to time it out better. So, and that's what we've been getting really good at now. And again, we're going to get great at trading, and it's just going to put them both together and just see what's going to happen. So, I would say stick with the show, and I bet you're going to be pretty pleased. And I know a bunch of yous have been. And a lot of I enjoy all the feedback. So anytime and I answer everybody, I think you guys already know that. And I didn't even know for I guess Twitter or X, they made update and I guess it made my settings go to the messages and turned them off completely. Like no one could message me. And before I had it open and someone pointed it out to me and I was like, "Oh, that's why." And so yeah, you can definitely send me a message, a DM me on Twitter or X and I definitely answer everybody. And like I say, if I don't see a post or something or a comment and I miss it, just shoot me a message. Sometimes I miss things, and I'll definitely answer you. So there you go with that. So there, BMRA, that looks great this week. ENG we were looking at last week, down 3 cents. A bunch of weird looks. And let me keep my eye on it because it's setting up for like 2 weeks down the road. I don't know if it wants to bounce, but let it just kind of bounce around in this channel right here for a few this week or at least tomorrow to get an idea. But that one's going to be a good one as well. GRTS, Gritstone Bio. This was doing so. Oh, this one took that dip, right? Yeah. This one took that dip. We like them ones. GRTS. We like when they take that dip. I'll watch this in the morning. It doesn't, it looks like it's still dipping. It doesn't give me a look like it wants to move yet. I just want to make sure it's Friday's date, and it is. I didn't want to make sure it wasn't anything crazy going on. But yeah, let me look at GRTS in the morning. It doesn't appear that it wants to bounce just yet. So obviously, if it's bouncing in the morning, you know it's going to be bouncing. THTX, another great setup, was down a penny, up two in the after hours, and just setting up right there. Another this week, it'll set up and be a good one. So we'll keep an eye on it. ZENV. Oh, let me put it in right. ZENV. There we are, down 12 cents. Let this one pull back. This one looked a little better the other day on that 50. It did pull back Friday. I don't think it was terrible. So I think it might just set up tomorrow a little better, bounce back up, and be a little bit better shape. So we'll keep an eye on that one. ALZN. Let's take a look at that guy real quick and see what that's doing. Oh, that one looks good. I know these are laptop travels, and this one just has to jump up laptop travel to like 160. It's at 166. Just let it get a little bit higher and it pop. It looks really good. ALZN. Might want to keep your eye on that tomorrow, guys, because that looks like it's gonna cruise. So that one looks real good right there. ALZN, AMPG, AMPG. Another one up a 0.5%, right in the right spot right there, looking great. So AMPG looking beautiful as well. I think ALZN might look a little bit better, but they both look great. ASTI is a solar company, recently split not long ago, I guess in yeah, middle of August. And it is just it's kind of a hard, let me see, ASTI, a little bit of a hard look right there off of Friday, but actually on mine it looks great. On Finviz gives me a tough look. Let me make sure that's Friday's date. Yeah, October 11th. Yeah. Actually looks really good on mine, ASTI. So I'll look at that in the morning just to make sure, confirm it. COCP setting up really nice. I know this was a big one during COVID. I remember trading this guy, and this one's setting up real nice at $1.76. Just watch for a tiny little pullback, but that one's setting up really nice. DTST up 13 cents. Another one. Oh, gonna roll off. These are beautiful. DTST looking real nice. GFAI is that one that is that the one that had the 5 hour thing? And so yeah, is it? I think so. I'm pretty sure it is. They had like the 5 hour dividend or something. I don't remember, but let's see. The stock chart looks good, but is this the one or is this not the one? Oh, am I thinking of GS something else? Yeah, I don't think this is that one. GSHI I'm thinking of. Hold on. Yeah, GHSI is exactly what I'm thinking. Never mind. Disregard what I was just saying about GFAI because I was thinking of GSHI. GFAI looks really good. So that one looks beautiful. Guard Force AI. So yeah, we definitely want to take a look at that one. GFAI. Yeah, I would say take a look at that. Now the GHSI, that one is down a little bit. It's at 325. It looks good, but I know they're like diluting the company or something. They announced delisting and a new CEO, so it's nothing that you want to mess with. GHSI, not when they've already listed that they're delisting the company. So don't mess with GHSI. But the GFAI is really nice. So there you go. IMCC, that is a cannabis company. I knew that. I am Cannabis Corp. It's from Israel. I didn't realize that. Yeah, actually, I think I did know that. But anyway, it looks really good. And to be honest with you, the cannabis companies are looking great. I just went through them. I did a report on Curaleaf, which you can't pull up on here, but on mine I can, or and on Stock Twits. You can. It's CURLF. It's an OTC now. That's why. But it looks like it wants to really curl off Curaleaf. So take a look at that one. And I know a couple of the other cannabis companies were looking pretty solid right now. Tilray, TLRY. I'll actually go through a bunch of them tomorrow morning. I'll do that. I'll pull up. I have a huge list. I forgot I had a huge list on my computer. I printed it out. It's probably still sitting on the printer. I forgot to grab it. So I have them all. And we can go through the cannabis companies, go through some of the bigger ones, smaller ones, and I'm telling you, they're all pretty much setting up. They had run up on that on the rescheduling news before, and then they all came crashing down because nothing happened, but they are setting back up. So we'll go through them as well. But that is IMCC, and again, that one is setting up as well, looking decent right there. INDP, that's a biotech company that was moving Friday and looks like it wants to continue moving. So if that has momentum in the morning, it's going to keep moving. LGCL. Lucas GC Ltd. That one looks really good. A China software company. Ooh, that one looks real solid right there. Keep an eye on that bad boy for tomorrow. LMFA. This is oh no, LM Funding is a US. I thought that was a China company as well, credit service. It was like a financial company, but I thought it was in China. I was wrong. But this one's curling up really nice. It's making that hard curl up, about to sit on the 20 and get cruising up there to like 352, and it's at 260. So keep an eye on that. And I honestly really always thought that was a China company. LSH, I know I've traded it a few times before. LSH, that Lakeside Holding, we were looking at this and it is curling off that MACD. It came down really hard on it and it is looking great. So this thing is going to roll, guys. LSH, this whole list is looking good right here. Laptop Travel, look at you pulling them out right there. Um, Switching the scanner around a little bit and just nailing them down right here. NXL had momentum Friday, should continue to keep it depending on the market conditions, and we'll be looking at all that in the morning at all that. But yeah, that one doesn't look bad. PSIG, I know we were looking at that before, and that was up 7 cents. And looks like it wants to kind of continue up. It looks pretty solid. try to get up to like the 90 cent area. Market conditions again, so we're going to go over a lot of these in the morning, or we'll just roll through and know how they're kind of moving without even going through them all just by looking at the market conditions. But SUGP is looking great. That's a Hong Kong company looking beautiful. SWVL. Let's see, SWVL. That one's looking really good too. Wow, I can't say that any of these so far have looked really bad. SUGP, SU Group is rolling off of there. That's a Hong Kong. A bunch of these Hong Kong companies look great. We might have to go through some of them tomorrow as well. And maybe we'll do that stuff tomorrow on a Columbus Day. SWVL. This one's trying to curl up. It looks pretty solid right there. So I'd keep an eye on that. I'll look at it. Should try to get curling up. Toro Corp. Marine shipping in Cyprus. And this one's trying to cruise up there as well. It was starting to move and looks like it's going to try to continue that momentum to keep on sailing there. TORO and TPCS. Let's see it down or up 16 cents, not down, up and just setting up beautifully right there. And that's a metal fabrication company looking really good right there. And ZVSA, let's see what that's up to. Let's see. ZVSA is trying to set up right there. Has that hard line and the 20. Wow, this thing looks wild too. So ZVSA. That thing doesn't look bad at all. Does this have anything crazy going on? October 7th, nothing I see that's like putting it out of business. Because that looks pretty nice right there. ZVSA, I'd keep an eye on that as well. And let's look at crypto real quick and see what else is going on. I'll take a look and see if we have anything else. And boom, here we go. The one thing when you have your messages open, you get a ton of like spam ones. Like I sent you a photo and where are you from? You get a million of them. But anyway, it's all good. I ain't worrying about it. So anyone can shoot me a message. And Jennifer Lee has a couple good ones here. Talk. Let's look at Talk. Who's that? TALK, Talkspace Inc. Not even familiar with it, but I'll tell you what, this thing's gonna run up in the top. Has super momentum for the morning, guys. So that Talk TALK looking great. And NAOV. I feel like we did this one, but let's do it again. It's curling up really nice right there. Had that weird look on Friday. Let me just look at this. NAOV. Yeah, it has that. It looks like it wants to curl up and get cruising right there. I think we might have done that one already. It looks familiar, but I could be wrong. Um, but now, yeah, I think so. But it does look good. It has that look, and it's like a day or so out where they like to pop. So. That one looks decent, NAOV, especially for tomorrow. Like I said, has it's right there, making that hard curl up. So there you go, Jennifer Lee. I hope that helped. And Licho something had something I almost missed that. Nail and Road. Let's look at them bad boys. NAIL. And that is the Home Builders and Supplies Bull. So we're gonna nail this one and see what it's up to because it looks like it's setting up to be super bullish in like the next 2 weeks as it's pulling back right now. I don't know if it's gonna get any lower than the October 7th when it got down to 145.88. So I would expect this bad boy to start curling back up now and it's going to get nailing. So it's going to get back up to that 180 and pop off of there. And what was the other one you just asked about? It was Nail and Road. RAOD is Construction Partners. And another one setting up to be really nice. Ran up Friday, curling through, and looks like it wants to keep momentum to get into the top and keep running. So ROAD, if I could spell road, ROAD is looking good. Came down 14 cents in the after hours. I think it's going to pop up into the top and try to get up to that 60 or 76 area, maybe even a little bit higher in the 77, 78. So That road looks good also. And there you go. Let's show something. I like both of them as well. We did the Buru. I'm just making sure we got everybody there. And let's go through crypto real quick. Let me just hop on my app real quick because Bitcoin is at 62,541. But let's look and see what the chart. I know they're getting right there to hit the line, and it's just kind of going flat and pulling back a hair. So we're not going to know overnight, being that it's a Sunday night going into a Columbus Day. Usually doesn't matter for crypto. Ethereum is at what, 2,448. And it wants to, oh, it's hitting the line right now, just healthy pullback. It should get through. I would think tomorrow they get through Ripple XRP. Let's look at it real quick because it was pulling back today and yeah, just kind of flat. I think they reverse up tomorrow and try to get through that line. Solana's at 148 and is just super bullish, ripping into that line right now. And I think Sol's going to lead the way. So Solana wants to get back into the 150s and roll. And so yeah, that one's looking really good right there. And Doge is at in what the tens again, 11 cent area, and it's looking good. It's sitting on the 100, trying to curl through and like hitting the line and trying to get moving. So they look pretty nice right there. And let's look at Bonk real quick and see what that's up to. That one is just kind of pulling back a little bit, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But the rest of them look pretty good. And we'll keep an eye on crypto in the morning. Hold on 1 second here. Let me hop back onto our big caps here and let's take a look at these bad boys real fast and see what's going on with our with our memes real fast and our big caps. GameStop, GME, that was down 8 cents, and I think this one's going to try to start getting set back up and to move. So we're going to keep an eye on GameStop and we'll see what happens. AMC was just kind of pulling back 2 cents, but again, this one had tried to curl up multiple times, and I think you're all the way down there. I think your bottom was Thursday, to be honest, at 403, and I think AMC is going to get moving again. So I would look at the options finally on that, and also Chewy, CHWY, and that was up 40 or down 42 cents. It's sitting in a great spot, just kind of pulling back a little bit. Let me look because it is setting up to be pretty bullish down the road, but pulling back right now. So we're just going to watch that one to pull back a hair as it sets up. So that's Chewy, CHWY. And let's look at our Mag 7 and see how they look. And the video was down a penny. It was at 134.80, came down a little bit in the after hours, and it's right there at the top. And again, just super, super bullish right there. So it should be trying to pop off even higher in the video. So it looks like it's going to run up a little bit more. NVDA. Let's look at Apple down $1.49 and just right there. I mean, is it going to cross through? It's sitting right on the line. I mean, it's a hard look. It's super bullish. If it pulls back a little, it's coming down to like 226 or 225. Nothing crazy. And then it's going to set up super bullish. So Apple's looking really good down the road. Google is up $1.34. Again, this chart reset up and it looks like I thought it was going to come through. It did come through. It was just kind of curling up a little bit. I'll have to take a look at Google. Like I said, it's setting up to be bullish down the road with that antitrust. It could pull back. It could roll off. It gives you a mixed look right now. So that's Google. Amazon, that was up. This is super bullish, and this is trying to cross through. I can't imagine it not. So I would assume Amazon is going to get running right there. So keep an eye on Amazon to move up. Meta, this one's been at the top and was trying to come down, and now it looks like it wants to try to roll back off the MACD and go higher. So let's see if it goes even higher than 589 back into the 600s into the top again and tries to run up. I feel like it should pull back and make some space, crawl down, make some space, and really set up for a couple weeks, like 2 weeks down the road, 3 weeks like the rest of them. But we'll have to let Meta tell us what it wants to do tomorrow. And Microsoft was up 48 cents, and this one's setting up to be super bullish as well. and it's way down there, going to start making that curl up. So start checking that bad boy out. And that is Microsoft MSFT. And let's just cruise through Mr. Tesla because it was down quite a bit after that robo taxi event. It like literally dipped down to the bottom, but you're going to see it bounce back up. So Tesla was at a good little dip price at that 217, and another one just setting up super bullish down the road. The 20 is at 244 now and curling it down. So let me watch it in the morning just to see, but it should start to try to set back up and get bullish again. It may dip down a little bit more. So watch it in the morning for a little more pullback, and let's see what Nike's doing. Up 5 cents, setting up bullish but pulling back. So we're just gonna wait for Nike and find the best price for that. Rivian, we know that's setting up, and I think we're there now. So keep your eye on that Rivian tomorrow and start looking at it, starting to hit that line and cross through, and that one's gonna get cruising. So Rivian's a really good one to keep an eye on as well. PLTR, that one has been in the top forever. I just keep saying if it's running up in the morning, it's a momentum play, but don't stay in it long because it's been at the top for way too long. Sophie, I told you guys this was going up, and told you it's at 8, and now it's at 9. So it looks like it wants to run up into the top, and it's setting up to be pretty damn bullish, Sophie, and it's running. So BA is Boeing. And this one came all the way down, and now it looks like it's going to roll off that MACD and get popping. So I'm pretty sure that bottom was Friday at 146, and that should be pretty good. Boeing should try to take off again. Snow's been looking good, and I know that ran up for us. Well, it's hitting some resistance, so we'll keep an eye on it, see if it wants to reset up. So we'll keep an eye on Snow, but that ran up really nice for us last week. How about Dell? We knew that was bullish, and that's running up into the top as well. So there goes Dell for us. AMD, not AMC, but AMD. That was up three. Oh, this one's going to bounce off that top. This should roll off and get cruising again. AMD. So let's watch that in the morning for momentum. That should be moving. How about space? SPCE. This one should have been running already. It wants to get set up, and I think this week is its setup week. So let's keep our eye on space, and then it's going to run. It has so much room to move. So SPCE, keep your eye on that. INTC is up 34 cents, and that's going to continue to go up. So that's Intel, and we kind of knew that in the 20 at 20, and now it's at 23. So that's going up some more as well. How about Disney? Up $1.14, trying to roll up there. Disney setting up super bullish and could make that hard curl. So Disney could make a big pop in the morning. SMCI, Super Micro Computer. This one, I think, didn't we look at it? I don't even know, but this one's super bullish as well. Curling up, yeah, we did look at it. It wants to get up to that 70s. I remember I said it already. Luis Rodriguez asked about it. That's right. So there you go. And that is bullish, SMCI. And Oxy, that's up 19 cents, trying to curl up there. And that one looks like if it's super bullish, gets over that 55, it's going to pop. So keep an eye on Oxy in the morning to try to get up over that. And ExxonMobil, that one just ran kind of flat. Another one. I mean, they're all setting up pretty bullish. It's pretty wild. Can't tell what ExxonMobil really wants to do tomorrow. So I'll have to look at that one. Mara, that's up 80. I'm telling you, big crypto is going to get cruising, guys. You can see it right here. And Riot as well. I know Riot was moving. So I think crypto is going to about to start actually moving. Riot was up pretty good Friday and wants to continue, so keep your eye on that one as well. CLSK up 93 cents at 9.59 and wants to just roll off that MACD and pop. So that one's looking great. Coinbase coin is looking good as well. That hits the resistance at 176, but I mean it's rolling up and should just set up and get really good there. Coin DJT. Who told you that was going over 20 to 25? Well, it went up to 27. It's sitting at the top. We might have to watch it pull back a hair, and then it's going to set up and bounce up to even higher. And that's DJT. And I told you at 13 it was going up and it doubled. So there you go with that bad boy. That was a nice one, huh? That was fun, like PHUN. And I said that was going up, and that flew up over 20% on Friday and looks like it should run up into the top a little bit. How about our BLK BlackRock now? Shot way up $34 the other day. It's insane. It's in the top again. You know it's going to run up even higher. And I told you, this thing just keeps running. It's not going to stop. So BlackRock is going to get past 1,000 and just keep going. It's crazy. Just doesn't stop going up. BLK and PYPL is PayPal. This is super bullish, about to run up in the top. And Qualcomm was super bullish, up $1.46 and looks great. So, I mean, so many of them just looking beautiful. I don't know what else to say right there. I mean, it's just amazing. We just busted through a ton of them. We have a beautiful watch list, and we know exactly what's going on. The big caps are setting up looking great. Everything kind of is. And there you go. So we'll be hitting more 100%ers this week, and we will be trading them smart. And again, I'll be back. I'll be on the web bull starting probably Tuesday. I'll hop on at 4 a.m. I might not do it tomorrow, just being a Monday and Columbus Day. Not sure how it'll open, so I can wait and sleep in a little bit. And but yeah, I'll start hopping on the web bull at 4 a.m. We'll start locking in profits and smashing things. So there you go. Let me just take a real quick look at the stock twits real fast, make sure I didn't miss anything. And I just wanted to see what the earnings were looking like tomorrow. And that's going to be KARO. So let's look at that bad boy. And that's Karoo. It's a Singapore company. It's already flying. So watch KARO to be a nice little momentum play tomorrow because it looks like it wants to be. And there you go. I would say that's a pretty good little and what's trending tonight? Let me just look real quick. It's a lot of crypto on a Sunday over the weekend. Ethereum, PONKE, SUI, I know well, SUKU, 4chan, SpellX, Sophie, Visalink. Let's look at that. And H bar. I know my buddy T likes that one. Let's look at H bar real quick and see what that's up to. HBAR. Pull it right here. Um, I mean, it is going to start to set up again, so that's good. That's H bar, and what was else? VISL, Visalink. Oh, that's setting up really good, and that's like a communication. I know they do like oh, that's a great one around elections and stuff. They do like surveillance, I believe. I nailed this one before, and it might have been before an election. I forget what was going on, but I remember this one set up really nice before and was a big old runner. I could look on the stock twits and see what it was. But VISL setting up, so let me jot it down and we'll take a look at Vista Link. This link it's called. And there you go. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Laptop Travel, John Wong, RD, Licho Something, Elena, Scott, and Jennifer Lee, and everybody else that was here. Greatly appreciate it. There's our Sunday night. I hope that it's a beautiful opening tomorrow on a Columbus Day. We'll have to see how it opens. You know, I'll be here at 7 a.m. pre-market to run through and go over everything, and we'll nail all the poppers. You know, we'll have 100%ers. And again, it's all about trading smart, and we're going to be doing that. So there you go. FXI, Jennifer Lee wants to see. Of course, we can look at FXI real fast. Let me see. And that's the China large caps. And again, it looks like that yin. It was trying to hold itself up, I think. Hitting that line really hard. I'm gonna look at it on mine just to see how it looked in the after hours. And yeah, flat there. This one could roll off the China um big cap one. It's not crossed through just yet. And on mine, it kind of came down interesting in the after hours, but still don't trust it at all. Um, Still looks like it wants to come down. It ran way too high up in the top. Will it could it reverse? It could, but it just doesn't look like it totally wants to yet. The 20's down here at 31. It's just really depends. This one, I have to see it in the morning. It's just giving you that look. It could go either way. It's either it can roll off or go through and come down. So obviously, we'll have to look at that in the morning. It's a really tough one to take a look at. Like I said, the yin and the yang are pretty the yin crossed down already. I know that one. And I'm just gonna look at it one more time here. Yeah, the yin definitely crossed down. Although it's in that spot where it could pull it up. And I know I say that, so I'll definitely be looking at them in the morning. We'll go through them all. And like I said, I don't have to run the kids to school, so we'll be good there. I could stay on and kind of run through the pre-market and do a little extra tomorrow, so that works out. So yeah, I'll look at the FXI in the morning. Let me jot that down. And that's a good one to look at just to get an idea anyway of the China stock. So definitely take a peek at it and see what it's up to. So there we go. And again, greatly appreciate everybody. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I got everybody. And if I didn't, just shoot me a message and I'll cover it. And again, I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. for pre-market. Everyone have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good night.